Let me know if you see it. Good. Nice little music in the background for people. What's going on, people? We're live. 9:30. We actually made it on time this time. If you saw yesterday, this is, by the way, thank ganja it's Friday, even though it's Saturday, because yesterday the gods of the internet said no, and it just clunked out in the middle of our show. So we said, you know what? We're coming back strong. We got too much to talk about. We got trials to talk about. We got the end of democracy, as requested by Republicans. And if you think I am being hyperbolic, just wait till you see what we got to show you today. We got some good news too. So all of that was way too important to just let it go. We're back. Thank God it's Saturday. And let me introduce you to my illustrious, informative, informed, well-informed, what's all the other good stuff I used to say? Intelligent, illuminated.
You can stop there. It's fine.
Laura Malcolm. How you doing, my friend?
All right. I'm doing okay. Oh, it's a bit of a weather day today, but let's forge ahead.
Yes. And speaking of weather, you guys may not know this. Well, you don't know this. How would you? But my lights even went out. It drizzled, and my lights went out. And the thing about living in the red state, people, is everything except the jail and the road to the jail and the cars that take you to the jail, everything else, the infrastructure is from the 1940s or 50s, because nothing else has any money spent on it. So it drizzled and my lights went out. We thought we couldn't even get it in today, but they're back. We're back. So that's all right.
Well, I'm just glad that your computer's okay. It seemed to go sizzle for a few minutes.
Yes, it was horrible. It was all my fault, people. I don't know what was going on. All of a sudden, everything just clunked out, or it started to sound like I was in a cave, and then it got worse from there.
Hey, we're transparent here. It's the life of live streaming.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And we've been doing 3 weeks straight of live streaming. But guess what? We like to do videos and have well-written rants sometimes. I might, well, I'll never write my rants, but you know what I mean. We like to do strong, informed videos where I can put in clips and have it all mapped out. But the live form is also seeming to work. So if you've been watching TGIF for a while, put in the comment section. Let us know what you think about it. If you want us to do more lives, we'll be getting back to the original format where we just put it up after recording it on Thursday next week. But if enough of you say, hey man, we really like the live better, then maybe we can bring more of that in there. Or you like it just as much, we'll bring more of the live in there. So let us know. Where did we leave off yesterday? I believe it was the clown car, Trump trials, the gaggle of idiots and buffoons known as Trump lawyer, all of that. Hit us up, Malcolm.
All right, well, where to start? Oh boy. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive.
Yes, Lord.
By the great Sir Francis Scott, was that? Yes.
Yes, I don't remember. We looked it up the other day and I still forgot.
Anyhow, it's been another week for Donald in the freezer.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, he had 2 gag orders, gag violation hearings this week. On Tuesday, he got hit up with the maximum of penalties, unfortunately, that they can hit him with in New York State for that. So $9,000 is all he got, but he's stern warning.
Yes. So I think it was 11. So he had 11 accusations of defiling the gag order, and only 9 were considered actually, defilements. and
right.
so $1,000 each. And the judge says, what? The judge says that, we may have to, and this is the thing. All left-wing media is reporting this like, he's definitely going to jail if he defies it again. The judge said so. And then when you read what the judge said, again, it's this tippy-toe eggshell bull. Like, the money doesn't do anything. We may have to think about jailing him if it happens again. That's not the same thing as do it again and you're going to jail. Does it sound like that to you, Laura?
Mm.
It
Yeah,
does,
sure.
right? Exactly.
Yeah, he didn't seem too worried because, he did it again.
Immediately.
In public, everywhere, immediately, all over the place, yeah.
When are we
Anyway,
gonna? Oh my God.
we had a second hearing on Thursday for how many more? I think there were contempt hearing Thursday morning focused on statements that he made to reporters in the hallway, including lawyer Cohen, witness in the case. Okay, 4 new instances of alleged violations, including those comments about Cohen, the jury, and one about witness David Pecker.
Oh my God.
Fire. Anyway, of course, he tried to blame it on everybody else, including he blamed these people themselves for, getting him riled up and daring him to talk. Multiple and repeated attacks on his credibility.
But they made me do it.
But this forced his lawyer to read some of examples
Oh
of
yes.
his antagonizing comments towards him, which included
Oh yes.
Michael Cohen's image of him in an orange jumpsuit. And best of all, it's official now. It's written into the records. Baron von Shits in Pants.
No! Give me the whistle. Give me the whistle. Baron von Shits and Pants is on the official record, people.
Baron von. Oh no.
It's all right. Listen, it's all right. It was so funny, even the camera had to laugh.
You can believe it either.
Man,
Oh my
now I
gosh.
want you guys to think about this. This is the guy with the ego of a robin egg. What else is more fragile? With the ego of a thin piece of glass hanging from a string on the top level of a building in New York. That's his ego. Can you imagine, as he sat there and woke up for the first time in court, to see pictures of him in orange suits, in a diaper, the Shits in Pants as his own name. Can you imagine what that felt like? Watching that. Oh no. Uh-oh. People trying to call
Am I
me.
here?
Yeah, you're there. Somebody else is trying to
Okay.
call me.
Okay.
So yeah, come on, man. I just wish I was well, there's probably no flies there. It's too cold.
We got flies.
I wish I was a camera in the room to see his face as they had to read over and over again how everybody really thinks about him. And remember, people, not just that. This is a guy who surrounds himself all day, every day, with people who only tell him how good he is, how well he's doing, how he's never wrong, how he looks great. It's the first time he's ever heard somebody say to him, "You look orange." He doesn't know. He really doesn't know. He thinks that color that he wears is skin tone because no one around him has ever. He thinks his hair looks good. People, he thinks that big tie and that ridiculous clown suit he's been wearing since the 80s looks good. And you wonder why. Somebody with that much money, so you think, well, why don't you just get a stylist? No, because everybody he knows follows behind him, sniffs his farts, and says, "That's amazing, Donald. That's amazing. I love it. More, please. Your suit, that's amazing. Your skin color, I wish I could." And so, waking up after drooling on the desk and seeing that, oh, mwah, mwah, thank you, Donald Trump's lawyer. Go ahead, continue. I just had to say that.
Well, the image that popped into my head was bronzer. What bronzer? That's probably his own shit smeared on his face.
Back to the shit.
Like we were talking about last night with this real
Yes,
men.
the people who are buying real men wear diaper shirts and wearing fake. People, you gotta watch yesterday. You think I'm lying? We showed you the pictures. People, MAGA morons, are buying actual wear on the outside adult diapers. Adult diapers that say things like real men wear diapers, because that to them is an easier thing to do than say, dang, maybe this was the wrong guy. That's so think about the mind state of a person who thinks it's easier to to
I can't.
I can't.
I don't want to. Please don't make me.
That's a sad existence, man. It's easier for me to wear a diaper on the outside, an American flag hat, and say, woohoo, own the libs, than it is to say, you know what, let me rethink my decision. Because saying that would destroy you more, your confidence more, than the diaper. They're in a sad place. But yeah, that bronzer that he's wearing it looks very close to what was in that that diaper. What do we got? Well, what else is happening? I know there's a lot of stuff going on. Tell me about the lawyers.
Yeah, well, probably
Hey,
people
TV2
know by
Live.
now, but prior even to the gag order violation hearing, the judge immediately called him on his bluff about couldn't testify because the judge put a gag on him, so he can't even testify and defend himself.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So yeah, Mershon called on that and said, "Hey, it's come to my attention. You don't understand." Talked to him like a 3-year-old child and said, "You can testify. That is your right, Donald. Do you understand?" And people in the courtroom said that Donald muttered, "Thank you," to the judge.
Thank you. I appreciate
I'm not sure
it.
he said thank.
Oh. So it's kind of like the judge telling him that he's going to be able to see his son's graduation.
Yeah, he also emphasized that you can go to your son's. Let's
Yeah.
clear it up. Yeah.
And so the thing is, you wanted to use it. So now what are you going to do that you actually have to go? Right? Now, you were hoping not to go and use that as an excuse. What's the excuse when he doesn't show up this time? That's what I'd like to know. But, yeah, we'd like to see you testify. But everybody knows he's not. Please. You kidding me? You kidding me? People out there, chime in if you think he has any intention to testify. I'd love to know if that's what you believe. Because you... Go ahead.
I'd like to know if he's really going to go to Barron's graduation. I mean, that's the question out there. Barron's probably going,
Yeah, Barron's like, God, I thought I was away from him for just a second. The media storm is going to be crazy. And that, I think, will be his excuse, actually. He's going to say,
yes.
what? Yeah, I didn't want to. There's too much going on. The media storm. He deserves a good graduation. So I decided, as a good father, I'm not going to go. Yeah. What's going on with these lawyers?
Oh man. Well, let's see. One of his law firms, a long time law firm, La Roca Hornick. La Roca Hornick.
Yeah, I'm sure you say it better than I could.
That was a hard one to pronounce. But they're seeking to withdraw from the long-running case representing his political operation in a bunch of suits dating back to 2016 and the first presidential run. They've been defending him, including a pregnancy discrimination case in New York, which apparently they were told by a judge that they had to show all of that. Hang on, let me get it right.
Go ahead. Um,
A suit filed by a former campaign communications advisor says she was sidelined by the campaign after revealing she was pregnant. AJ Delgado is her name. The timing of the motion is notable because it's 2 days after the same federal court ordered the campaign to turn over in discovery all complaints of sexual harassment and gender or pregnancy discrimination from the campaigns, materials that they've resisted handing over.
I see.
Yeah, and Miss Delgado, who's representing herself, says that she says this is bullshit. It's a scheme to avoid compliance.
Yeah.
I have to agree. That's what it looks like for sure.
So that scheme is one, but I also hear that lawyers everywhere are running scared because there's some sort of a understanding. I had it up yesterday. I couldn't even find it today. Who was it that was that the second? What was the law firm that just pulled out completely? Just filed and said we're not going to be able to represent you after just saying they were going to represent him. Did you hear about that?
Remind me.
So there's a law firm that decided they were just going to pull out completely. I will find it, but the deal is, all of them are realizing at the same time, hey, I could get in trouble for dealing with this guy. This second law firm that it happened to, the reason when they left, the timing of it was, and I'm going to look it up here, guys. We're live, so you'll see me looking it up. No cap. We'll go law firm pulls out of Trump case right after seeing the evidence. Okay? They pull out. Now that is strange. That's also telling. The firm, that's the La Roca Hornick one that you were just showing. Let's see, maybe it's the same one.
I think it is. I don't see anything else popping up.
Representing him in a variety of civil criminal cases, stepped aside. Ms. Delgado. Yeah, so.
Calling irreparable breakdown.
Irreparable breakdown. Let's see. Don't worry about it, guys. Is this the same law firm? Yeah, it's the same one. So basically, after seeing evidence, these people are also like, I'm out of here. I can't do this. And I just find that to be absolutely hilarious. So you think that it's a scheme to waste time, huh?
It's the plaintiff representing herself in this case would know better than I that it would appear to be a scheme to avoid compliance, in her words, but it could be also the running, to jump off the ship while they can, a bunch of rats. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be either, or...
It could be either or both.
Oh, my.
Oh, anyway. Okay, so that's the clown car. I have another thing that happened in court, since we're talking about court, if you don't mind. Two things, really.
Go for it.
Eric showed up this week. Didn't he show up this week to stand by his dad?
Yeah, he did, and I think Lara made him do it.
And here's the unfortunate part. Listen up, guys.
Having Eric there make a difference for him, do you think?
No, and I think having Eric there actually was very sad to watch, because this might have been some of the first times that Eric has seen some of these documents, and I and other reporters in the courtroom noticed at times there are monitors that show the documents. Eric Trump was looking up at the documentation through which this deal was done, including emails between Cohen and Davidson, and sort of looking at them interestedly, in particular the contract between Peggy Peterson and David Dennison.
Stop. Number one, Peggy Peterson, David Dennison. The most Trumpian pseudonyms for yourself. That's their pseudonyms. Well, they both start with P, and this one starts with, both of them start with D. Aren't I awesome? The 5-year-old pseudonyms for themselves. Anyway, poor Eric.
Actually, I heard it was because the P standard for plaintiff, and the DD was for defendant.
Oh.
And the guys gave him the name David Dennison based on somebody he played hockey with in high school or something, and that guy's pissed at him now.
Okay. I won't go at him for that then. Let's continue listeing.
It's still juvenile, and it's still unusual for a court case to have the plaintiff and the defendant using pseudonyms, and that the lawyer made sure that it was only for the lawyer's eyes only, who they really were.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
How
does he get so much? Anyway, let's.
For Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels, watching Eric Trump watch those documents as just a human being, that struck me.
That's hard.
That's just, he's still a human being. As he looked up at the cameras or the monitors and saw that his father signed papers about the porn star he screwed while his mother was at home with his brother. Oh no, that wasn't his mother. That was the other. No, that's the other. That's the other one. Other one. Right. Give me a break. You bleeding heart. You're sad because Eric freaking Trump, who Donald doesn't remember his name. You're sad because this guy looked up and saw the paperwork and realized for the first time his dad was a...
He was busy pouring cold.
Right, what do you want me to say? It was... He's a used condom, is what he is. What do you want from me? You're telling me he just realized that while in court, looking up with his doughy eyes at the monitors? Give me a break, people. I would be surprised if Trump didn't go home and share the footage with his sons. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. All right. If you don't have anything else, what else you got from the court trials before we move on?
Well, one last thing before the Hope Hicks, or maybe we want to do Hope Hicks first.
No, I'll do it last.
Lawsuit for a shady deal in Chicago, where he's been bouncing this apparent 50 million, I think it is, loan. Let's see. Yeah, another lawsuit. Shady $50 million 2016 loan in Chicago.
Wow.
The property he repeatedly listed as valueless up until then. Keeps saying he owes it so that he doesn't have to, if he pays it, then he'd have to pay tax. But it's all really...
tax fraud?
Refinanced a loan in Chicago. Well, we'll see what comes of that, but it's coming.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can only imagine. Listen, I would bet you that people could look into Donald Trump's finances and shady tax fraud and everything he does for the next 10 years and still be just scratching the surface of the amount, because he hasn't done anything in business that's been above board. I mean, every single thing he's done is about how can I get over on the next guy or the next tax code or the next worker or the next immigrant or the next black guy, or how can I get over on the next landlord, on the next casino, on the next city, on the next state, on the next country. He did the same thing in Ireland, got over on him. Like, he's never done anything above board. He's drawn to this illegalities like a mafia boss. And that leads to Hope Hicks, because anybody, and Cohen knows this because he had to finally fess up. Scaramucci, if you guys remember who he was the
1, 2, 3 Scaramucci.
Yeah, Scaramucci was the public relations guy when Trump was in the White House for about 5 seconds. All these people who were caught will tell you, we knew. Of course you knew. Anybody knows. Anybody with a brain who's not in the cult knows the minute he opens his mouth, he's a con man. But these people stood behind him like Hope Hicks and then cry at the hearing. I want to show you this lady's thing. I'll try not to do the whole thing because you need to go watch it yourself. She's awesome. Politics by Tabitha. But I feel like her when you're talking about Hope Hicks cries on the stands. What does she say?
Of course she did.
Right.
I don't know why everybody is shocked. Of course she did. Mm-hmm. When I first heard about this news over on Just Talk yesterday, that was my response. Of course she did. I wouldn't have expected anything different from Hope Hicks getting on the stand and bawling. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have expected anything different.
Now, you know what? I'm just going to let this go.
Different.
Let's go.
Look at Hope Hicks. She is the epitome of a white privileged woman here in the United States who uses her tears to manipulate, garner sympathy, to lessen whatever attack or consequences that she may be experiencing at the time. I forget who was asking the question, if it was the prosecutor that was asking the questions, but the way she was answering the questions definitely didn't do Donald Trump any favors.
Hey, so this, you said that she don't love you. What happened? I would love keep talking in that monitor that for me, Laura. I want to know what happened there, because she does get harsh. Tabitha gets harsh, and I don't agree with everything she does. But here comes the kicker. And our boy, Lawrence O'Donnell is on fire.
O'Donnell had to say about it, and I agree 100%.
Hope Hicks watched the Access Hollywood video and thought, yes, that's who I want to keep working for tonight. That's who I want to be president of the United States. And I'm going to continue to work as hard as I can to make that man on that video bragging about sexual assault become the next president of the United States. That's my mission. And that is who Hope Hicks wanted to be reelected as president of the United States. After he recommended injecting bleach into your veins to cure COVID. That's who Hope Hicks wanted to keep in the White House.
Yeah.
We have a monster in the presidency not because of Donald Trump, but because of the people who voted for Donald Trump and because of the people who worked for Donald Trump's campaign to get him there. You get monsters like Donald Trump thanks to people like Hope Hicks.
Yeah. So, that's the deal. Every single one of these lawyers, every single person person in his group, in his circle, is not, unless they're just dummies. Like maybe someone like a Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's just an absolute low IQ idiot, who looks for things like conspiracy theories and guys like Trump to lead her and to feel better about who she is. But other than that, all of them around knew what he was, know what he is. And everyone behind him knows that he is a monster to women, to his kids, to the country, to democracy. And that leads us to part 2 of today's live show. They want a dictatorship. It's not a happy accident. It's not something that they tripped into. They want a dictatorship. I said it many times on this channel that the reason why they want a dictatorship is because the Republican Party hasn't won a popular vote, the popular vote for presidency in 30, I'll say 20, but I believe it's 30, but for the sake of accuracy, 20 years. Bush didn't win the popular vote. Bush again didn't win the popular vote. Trump didn't win the popular vote. And even if Trump wins again, it won't be the popular vote. It'll be because a couple swing states had enough commercials or enough angry rural white people who feel like there's too many gay people taking their jobs and immigrants taking their jobs, when the truth is the same party that they've been voting for is the one selling their jobs away, keeping the money to the people who pay them to ensure that they don't pay them more, getting rid of their jobs as a policy to make more money, not investing in your job to make more money for the company. This is the Republican platform. It's not news. It's not news. So what happens is you can't get enough people to vote like that. So you start gerrymandering. Well, let's look at Mississippi. Look at Georgia. Look at Tennessee. And oh my God, look at Texas. Look at Louisiana. These are states that have look at South Carolina. Every one of these states have had to go to the Supreme Court to talk about how much gerrymandering they do and get maps redrawn, because either there's no place where black people are represented properly, or there's not enough of them. So once you realize that the gerrymandering won't work and whatever courts send it back, the only thing you have left is a dictatorship. You want to ban all abortion, but 70% of America doesn't? The only way to do that is a dictatorship. You want all the money to go to the top, stop all people who have money from paying taxes, tax the rich through sales tax? No one will vote for that except for Marjorie Taylor Greens and idiots who care more about hurting other people than saving themselves. But most people won't vote for that. The only way to get it done is a dictatorship. You may not believe me. You may think, oh, Bruce, you're just being hyperbolic. Bruce, they've been doing this forever. You can't think about it that way. Do you mind, Laura? Exhibit A.
But brace yourselves. This is scary.
They decided that as the Washington State Republican Party, they would this year take a stand against democracy. And I do not mean this as a metaphor. I am not performing political analysis. I am literally describing what they literally did.
We do not want to be a democracy. Originally, congressmen were elected by a direct democracy, senators were elected by their state legislatures, and presidents are elected by the Electoral College. We are devolving into a democracy.
We are devolving into a democracy. I wonder how many of these people voted for George Bush II. when he said, democracy is our greatest export. How many of them cheered when he said that? But now they listen to Charlie Kirk. And now they listen to Trump. And now they listen to anyone who will tell them anything they need to hear in order to believe anything that they have to stay in power. They've forgotten everything they used to believe in.
Now, congressmen and senators are elected by the same pool, a direct democracy. And with the national popular vote coming, we're going to be electing our president by a direct democracy too.
And here she gives away the plan. I'm not done. There's more, and I'm showing it to you. I know it's 10:05, but by God, if you don't think it's important, I hear you. But she just gave it away. You don't think they know they've lost the popular vote for 30 years? She just said it. Did you hear it, Laura?
Oh, yeah.
She says, oh my God, they're going to be doing the popular vote soon. We don't want the people to vote. We don't want majority rules. That would be bad for us. And thanks to Trump, I can now say it out loud on a microphone, and MSNBC and CNN will report it as one side or the other. I wonder who or why. Hey, we're in a horse race. You're tied with Biden in swing states.
Bad idea.
Bad idea. We are devolving into a democracy. We do not want to be a democracy. Okay. As Danny Westmead at the Seattle Times reported, delegates at the Washington State Republican Convention then stood up one by one to argue that the U.S. should repeal the 17th Amendment, which allows us to vote for our United States senators. After that resolution passed, they went bigger. They voted to put this language into their platform. Quote, we encourage Republicans to substitute the words republic and republicanism, where previously they have used the word democracy. Every time.
Okay. You're still wondering if Bruce, for the past 2 years, has been hyperbolic in telling you that they want a dictatorship, that Hitler became a dictator because they wanted it. He didn't take over by force. The brown shirts happened after they voted him in. All of that stuff happened afterwards because the people who didn't want him in were quiet. The people who didn't want him in didn't want to disrupt the status quo, so they both sided it. And while one side had a militia ready that we can call them Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, half of the police officers in your state, they're prepared for 2024. You think that there's a guardrail. There is not. Exhibit B. And then I'm done, Laura. We'll move on to something else.
Trump has been talking right now about, he says he thinks he should be immune from the actions he takes while president. You think he should have total immunity?
Otherwise, everyone's going to jail.
You're fine with Trump as king?
Yes.
Trump as king is good.
Yep.
That's what American as you can get.
Yes, it is.
King Trump.
Yes.
However, Trump isn't asking to be a king. He wants to be a different kind of ruler.
He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
Dictatorship for day one.
Yeah.
And that's what we...
What does that actually look like?
Well, that means that about half the people in the Department of Justice should be arrested and put behind bars.
That's like a true dictatorship.
It's an actual dictatorship. That's an actual... It's not like, oh, well, he doesn't really know what he's saying. He wants half of the people, because Charlie Kirk, because the Fox News, because pundits and Newsmax have told him that those people are sick. They eat babies. They hate you. He wants those people arrested, thrown behind bars without trial. He knows what a dictatorship is, and he loves it. Give me more. Oh, more. It tastes good. I want this. I don't think I'm going to change his mind. I am going to have sympathy for those who have been led down the line for conspiracy theories. You have a place here. If I can help you in any way. But our goal isn't to change the dictator wanter's mind. Our goal is to convince every other single voting age person that it's not a joke. Our goal is to convince every other single voting age person that although we hate genocide in Palestine, if you don't want one here, stop playing games. Stop thinking that not voting for Joe Biden somehow helps anybody anywhere on this earth. That's our goal. That's our only goal, to get more people out. We win the popular vote. Guaranteed. They know it. They know it. I just showed you that they know that. Trying to convince them to vote against their cult leader is not going to happen. They're wearing diapers on the outside. Right? They're putting shit on their head for him. You're not going to convince them. Our goal is to get every voting age human being in this country to vote in such a way that you outnumber them, and hopefully, by the grace of God, after they riot after that, because they will, we can put it down safely. That's the best we can ask for. And my rant is done. That's it.
Well done, well done. You do the best rants, man. That's why I started following you to begin with.
I appreciate that.
If there's anything rant worthy, it's dictator versus democracy.
Oh my God, man. It's hard to, it still feels like the words aren't right. And we'll have to do another one because I'm still hearing from people, oh man, did you see what Joe did? Oh, did you see this and that? Like, I'm with you, man. I'm with you guys. I know all the bad stuff. I put them out on this channel, right? I go hard. They're all politicians. I don't like any of them. But if you don't see the writing on the wall, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. What else we got, Laura?
Oh, I'm about out of scandals.
Give me some good news. I want some good news. What's the good news?
Up on some good news. Let's see. It's about almost quarter past the hour, so we'll fit some of this good stuff in and see if anybody in chat wants to talk. Maybe do some shout outs. But anyhow, okay. So Biden has now canceled 10% of all student debt, with more forgiveness coming.
Oh, love it.
So the latest round of debt relief is now approved upward of $160 billion during the last 3 years, which represents 10% of outstanding student debt. And the most recent group discharge approval is geared toward borrowers who attended schools accused of widespread misconduct, so bad actors, schools that are ripping off students and such.
Thank God. Hey,
the education department.
Wait a minute. I'm glad you said that. Real quick interjection.
Sure.
People, we have in about 2 weeks, I'm still writing it, an entire video is coming out about the education system and how it's ripping people off all the way from kindergarten to college, and the plan behind it, who's behind it, and how to stop it. So this is really poignant news. I just wanted to get you guys ready for that. Keep an eye out. It's coming. I'm going in. That's it. All right. What else
All
we got?
right.
So what?
Those approved under existing programs like the Borrower Defense to Repayment and Closed School Discharge Initiative, as well as court settlements.
Okay.
So that's how they, yeah.
Man.
So that's great news.
Thank goodness, man. And that student loan stuff has been affecting me for a while. Like, it's a directly affects me and my family. We've been helped out so much by what he's done with the student. I know not everybody's got it because it's only 10%. I got lucky maybe, but these are things that help real people. And like, it's funny to talk about the diapers and the farting and the cold courtrooms, but I also want to remember, like, there are still things being done that are helping actual real people, and Biden's doing it. So hold your nose if you have to, but vote. I mean, jeez.
Is that another fart joke?
As soon as I said it, I realized it.
All right. Well, and Kamala's on the reproductive rights freedom tour.
Oh, she's been going in lately. I'm loving it.
She was down in Florida just as the 6-week ban went into effect. So go Kamala.
Yeah,
I think she's been making the media rounds to some late show, or maybe they're daytime talk shows. I don't watch daytime talk shows, but she was on Drew Barrymore.
Oh,
just Drew.
Yeah, Drew. You know what? I would from whatever clips I've seen from Drew, I might like it. I'm gonna check it out one day, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. And lastly, and not leastly, he just handed out some Medals of Freedom on Friday.
Yes.
I think there were 19 recipients in total, including posthumously to Medgar Evers.
Well worth it.
Nancy Pelosi, Michelle Yeoh, Al Gore, and others.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a fan of that. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of everyone who got one, but yeah. Look, things are being done, and it's not all bad stuff. So I'm down. I'm 100% with that. Medgar Evers, especially.
Yes.
Listen, people. It's not all bad. That's why we try to always end with the good news. This guy, Biden, is doing a bang-up job, better than I ever expected. I wasn't expecting much. He wasn't my first choice. All right, that's what's up. Fine. But if you haven't figured it out by now, it's not a joke. Like, it's just not a joke. The guy who's on the other ticket will destroy us. And it's not just America. If you're watching this from another place, I want you to ask yourself, why is there a Nazi Germany, Nazi wing arising again in Germany? Why is there pro-Nazi marches in Germany again after so many years and they had it squashed? Why is there such a right-wing extravaganza happening since Brexit in the UK? Why is there, we'll just say, fascistic groups rising in Poland? And why are our congressmen siding with a dictator against a free democratic country called Ukraine? The world is looking and watching and hoping that we're not as dumb as they think we are. So am I, and I'll leave it on that. Thank God it's Friday. Thank Ganja it's Friday.
It's Friday, part 2.
Part 2 on a Saturday.
You guys got to go and catch the first half for sure.
Oh yeah, go back, catch the first half.
And also, my viewers from my Worst of the Worst Women of the Week awards last week was interesting in its results.
Yes.
The comment section was split in between Roseanne rabid followers and Roseanne, oh my God, what happened to her? She's horrible. And very little of what I expected to be the main contender was Christy Nome, the puppy, goat, horse, and who knows what else killer.
Yeah. That's so. I think for some reason, for the first time in my lifetime, white people aren't crying about the dogs anymore. I don't know what's happening. Like, what's going on?
It's like, okay, it's another Republican doing horrible things to a dog. And Romney is really pissed off that this has come up again because everybody's talking about that time with his dog. And
Lord. I think that's what's happening. And by the way, guys, it's just a joke. I love animals too. But I would have thought that the dog, that people would be so outraged, but no, it's been Roseanne. Roseanne's the winner.
Maybe they just didn't watch the video all the way through, and that was the first thing I brought up.
Could be. Well, listen, if you're watching this, go back, check out that video. It's absolutely awesome. It's one of the best it's doing really well on the channel. I don't know how to say that. One of the best ones on the channel. Put your view in. We like to know who you think was the worst of the worst women of last week. I think Chrissy Nome was in there. Roseanne Barr was in there. The people from The View were in there. So see if you can help skew those numbers a little bit.
I think. I forget
now. And Melania.
That's so awful. Oh, dear. Anyhow.
Selling the Mother's Day chain. The grift. Melania was selling her Mother's Day grift.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so what do we want to do now? We've got about 8 minutes left, so we want to give a shout out to some folks like Melanie Dane, who's done incredible research on the education topic that Bruce just talked about, that he's going to be bringing together next week sometime or over.
Yeah, it'll be. We got about 2 weeks for it to come. Only because the workload is so heavy with all the other channels, but it's in the process of being written. 2 weeks, it'll be here.
Yeah, we send her down a rabbit hole for sure.
Man, she was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Mel.
Thank
Love
you, Mel.
Excellent job. And I gotta give it to TV2 Live again for covering some of the protests and the police takedowns, and
yes,
so that was good to keep an eye on live for sure.
We were watching live, TV2 Live. You are a godsend, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And
great seeing you here.
Where am I missing? So we had TV2 Live, we got this here. I saw a few other people. Everybody who showed up. And that's it. We're good to go. I think we've said it all. No need to push it. Guys, we'll be back next Friday with a recorded show, not a live one. But if you like the live, if you're watching this anytime between now and then, leave it in the comment section. I'll be reading it. Let us know that you like it, and we'll do more of them. All right?
We always want your comments.
And that's it. Smoke one for me. Thank Ganja. It's Friday, people.
Smoke one if you go.